CBS radio station. Sports headlines all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Tigers 2-1 winners over the Phillies. Alex Avila's two-run double in the fifth, following a double by Ramon Santiago, playing for the banged-up Miguel Cabrera with a bad hip. Led the Tigers a victory. Doug Fister goes to 9-5, allowing 3 hits and an unearned run.
It's attributed to defense. You know, if they don't make the plays, you know, I don't have a chance of going deep in the game. You know, a couple of innings today that you know, attacking the zone and you know, within a couple of pitches they were you know, hit right to guys. So you know, lucky for me, I've got a great defense behind me, and you know, we were able to make it happen today.
Tigers also played without Torrey Hunter and second baseman Omar Infante due to injuries. Also, Max Scherzer 14-1 to the mound tonight at Comerica Park. 7-8 right here on The Ticket. Cliff Lee was supposed to pitch for the Phillies, but he's out with a supposed stiff neck, although he rumored to be on the trading block. Cleveland stays 3 games back of Detroit with a ex-Tiger Ryan Rayburn 3-run walk-off homer in the 11th. They defeat Texas 11-8. Yankees GM Brian Cashman challenging Alex Rodriguez to have a leg examined by an outside doctor. He says he's still hurt. A-Rod says he's not and ready to go. Kansas City Chiefs signed number 1 overall pick offensive tackle Eric Fisher from Central Michigan. 5 years, $22 million. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Good morning. I got my whole panel here this morning. Alex Nafusi. Good morning, Alex.
A-Rod never plays the game for the Yankees again.
Probably not. I got Harry Glanz over here.
Legal issues might dictate otherwise, but, you know.
I'm not a huge sports baseball fan like
You're not.
Some of you guys are. No, I'm not. But I'm telling you, from a pure business standpoint, that cat never sets a foot on the field again for the Yankees.
Well, legally he might have to, but that's a different story.
Legally.
Yep.
We'll talk baseball if you guys want. Also, we'll include mortgages and real estate. And there's Dan Jabinski over there from Skyward Realty in downtown Royal Oak. Hey, Dan.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Hey, it's July 27, 2013.
What is that, a Versace jumpsuit you got on?
Something like that.
What is that?
Gucci.
A little cloudy outside today, 76, and clouds all day, a chance of rain, but not too bad, a little bit of break in the action. It gives you a great time, a good chance to get out there and look at homes with your real estate agent, Dan, so we'll definitely be getting into that. Of course, we'll give you an in-depth conversation this morning about purchasing a home, obtaining a mortgage, if you're buying a house, or always the conversation about refinancing, as so many families still have these great opportunities to refinance their homes. Of course, we always want to get the rate conversation out of the way. Mortgage rates continue to show volatility as lenders have been changing their rate sheets, including us, 2 or 3 times a day. It gets a little worse. It gets a little better. Sort of quiet, though, last week on the day-to-day movement. It's really the smallest change we've had in quite some time.
I think the cool thing now, like the last few shows, is that, you know, Stacey and I are, you know, trying to buy a new house and looking at houses and all that. So I'm kind of like right, you know, in the mix. And, you know, not only do I work, you know, in the mortgage business, but, you know, we're trying to buy a new house right now. We're going through the, you know, negotiations back and forth and offers and all that. I got to tell you, some of these realtors, some of these listing agents, these guys couldn't be stupider. I mean,
oh boy, H-Glans at LowRateOnline.com for all your complaints.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh boy,
listen, as we said before, like, you know, 95% of the people in the real estate mortgage business know absolutely nothing, and they're 5%, you know, that handle, you know, 99.9% of the business. I mean, what we're going through right now is these people, their logic. They make things up to rationalize prices. They make things up to justify, like, counteroffers and all that. I mean, some of these dudes, they'll take like a brand new construction house, you know, built this,
and try to compare it to the existing house that you're buying.
And you're comparing it to the house that was built in 1920.
Not gonna
price
happen.
Per square foot. The house, you know, you're trying to buy needs $150,000 worth of work, and you're telling me the price per square foot is X.
Windows, roofs, flooring, heating and cooling systems, driveways. Yeah, they need a lot of money, these older homes. You got to know what you're doing. The market has changed, Dan.
You know, the problem with some of these agents, they'll just go out and grab any listing at any price whatsoever, and then they give bad information to the sellers and say, this is what your house, we think we could get that for you.
You know, again, I don't like that answer, but who can blame them, right?
Right.
I mean, the homes are selling off the market.
Yeah, but then it trickles right down to the appraisal that we always talk about. So then, okay, let's just say that people agree on a price, $300,000 for the house. We know the house is a $275,000 house. comes in all day long at $275. Then they're going to argue how come it didn't come in at $300,000.
Which is, by the way, your fault, Harry.
Which is my fault all the time. And I have some appraisal statistics right now. In May, okay, this is nationwide.
Oh boy.
Not only Michigan, it's worse because remember, we were hit as one of the 5 hardest states in the United States. So all we had to go was up, right? So we have more appraisal issues here than a lot of other states in the United States. But how about this? In May, on a national level, 9% of the real estate agents reported a contract cancellation. Just people just upped and canceled the contract. 10% reported delay, and 13%, it says, experienced lower sales price renegotiations due to a low appraisal. Okay, only 13%.
That's not a terrible number.
But that's a low number.
That's a low number, but that's national. Yeah. Here, I can ask you this question: how many times do you have to go back and renegotiate?
I'm saying
almost every time.
Half the time.
That's right.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, when we list the property, we're doing our job for the seller to get the highest possible price. And then, that always comes into play. If you have multiple offers, let's nip that in the bud. Okay, we have 4 offers. Who's going to pony up a little bit more money if the appraisal doesn't come in? Let's talk about that before you accept the offer. Because we know that very well could come up.
That's been part of the negotiation of purchasing a house now in 2013 is it's the highest and best. And then who has the flexibility? What buyers out there have the flexibility to change their loan a little bit and or pay the difference if the house comes in for less money? That's all part of it right now. Purchasing a house in 2013 has become different. Again, the industry has changed. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797.
Yeah, I want to thank Billy Slobin for that article. Billy, I appreciate it. I know he's at the office along with, who else is at the office today, Harvey?
Mike,
the whole
Steve,
staff. Bob, Jane, everybody?
Everybody. As we get to the end of the month here, we're trying to close up files for the, of course, Wednesday will be the end of the month. And only 1 month left, Dan, really before the kids have to get enrolled in the school. So I'm thinking and I'm hoping that a few additional homes come out on the marketplace. This could be a great time here if you haven't already listed your house, probably to get it on the market because these buyers, the same buyers won't be there maybe in 30 or 45 days.
So it's that crunch where, people do want to have their kids enrolled in a system, in a school system. And some communities are different, and that's where a realtor that knows what he's doing will tell you. Royal Oak is not so much that. It has more in the downtown area. You have more people that don't have the kids. They're single, alternative lifestyle in Ferndale. So it's not that big of a deal. But people pull that all together and say, well, I have to have this done right before school starts September. Not the case. You can still list your home. A lot of sales happen after that date.
248-539-9797. We want you to come and join our show here and give us some information about what you got going on. If you're out there trying to purchase a house or refinance your home, be sure to give us a call here at the studio or at the office all day long at 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283.
So, Harvey, it wasn't a crazy week for appraisals, right? No, not a lot of appraisal value issues this week.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crazy week for rates. Rates really didn't go up much, down much. They kind of stayed steady all week. But you know what it was a crazy week for? And we're at the, it was a crazy week for common sense. There were crazy things going on in our office from underwriters asking for things that I haven't heard of in 25 years, period.
The industry has changed, even internally.
So listen, when I tell you that the mortgage industry has changed, that you better have all your documentation, that you can't wait to the last minute, or you're going to be struggling to close at the 11th hour on that house because you didn't provide the documentation that we needed to get the loan done, it's not a fallacy. All right, we can't just get loans done on a whim and a prayer. It just doesn't happen that way. You need documentation.
30 to 45 days on most transactions, but you must be organized. And what we're seeing, again, there's a lot of families out there have gone through some hard times in the past, and they've got to clean things up.
But we need to see where the money is coming from. I don't care how much money you have, $200,000 in the bank, $500,000 in the bank. I don't care if you have $10 million in the bank. If you can't show me that you pulled from account A and put into account B on this date, it's not going to happen.
We're going to expand that conversation as we always do, talking about documentation and try to make your life smoother by getting in touch with us at Capital all day long here at the studio. 248-539-9797. We're also going to talk about home improvements as we see more and more families starting to do those projects that they've put off for the last couple of years. Now they're starting to make the phone calls and get the hardwood floors finished or put that new roof on. So a lot of things going out there in Southeast Michigan. We will take all of those calls, including we've got Eric on the line to start things off this morning from Detroit. Good morning, Eric. You're live on the ticket.
Good morning.
What's up,
how are you
dude?
guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Eric?
Doing very well. So a couple questions sort of all together. I'm in a lease with an option to buy in a home right now, a $200,000 option. I had to short sale my last home, and it'll be 3 years in December from the time of the short sale. And so a couple questions. One, what are my options? I've been told you have to wait 3 years, I believe, at least to qualify for FHA.
Right.
Obviously with good credit and not having missed payments. So one, just I wanted to verify that. The second question is, when is a good time to begin the appraisal process? Because I'm concerned that the house will not appraise for $200,000.
Why are you buying it then?
Well, no, and that's the thing, is we don't have to, but that's where we're at right now with the owner of the home, is having these discussions now, assuming that December will be the time that we'll be able to
right.
Get another mortgage. I kind of want to know, in terms of timing.
First of all, let me jump in, bro. First of all, you're not guaranteed to get a mortgage just because you're 3 years from your short sale date.
Right.
That's the standard guideline. There's no guarantee that you're going to get approved for another mortgage.
However,
right.
That's what we specialize in. If you did have that short sale, you can come back and get 640 minimum credit score, 3 lines of credit reestablished, a reason why and what has changed in the situation that you won't have it again. Yes, you likely will be able to go ahead and get a new mortgage. But, Eric, you need to hold off on that appraisal and such. Let's see what the comparable sales are going to be. You will be able to use sales if you're looking in December, probably sales from July, August, and September. They'll probably have to use those sales. Just a quick question on this house. And people that get into this, Dan, you see this quite a bit. They had a situation in the past. Now they want to do this rent with option to buy. Really, they're just renting the house. But when they tie themselves into a purchase price number, Eric, and that's what I'm afraid of, then you're sort of trapped. And then it's going back to the table and renegotiate with that seller.
Well, and two, it all depends, too, with your option to purchase. Are you picking a price right now, or are you going to pick a price come December? What you think you're gambling? Is the price going to go up or down?
The price was agreed upon when we first did the lease with her, which was 2.5 years ago, and she wanted $250,000 for the house.
That's a lot. Hey, Eric,
we felt
will you hold this? Completely. Hey, Eric, you got a great question here. I want to keep you on hold here. We're up against our first break this morning, but we've got tons to add to this conversation. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
You've been hearing now that home prices here in Southeast Michigan are on the rise. And you're probably thinking it might make sense to wait to list your property. Don't. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. You may want to consider that in addition to home prices on the rise, also on the rise are interest rates. And when interest rates go up, sales prices fall, taking money out of your pocket. So get started now. But don't just take it from me.
Hi, I'm Katie Androff.
And I'm Andrew Androff. And, we had our house listed with another realtor. 10 months on the market, no offers.
And, with 2 small children, it was extremely frustrating to get ready for those showings.
But then Jeff Glover came along, and he sold our house within weeks.
And we got the price we wanted.
Jeff Glover has sold more homes than anyone else this year in Southeast Michigan. Homeowners who sell their homes with Jeff get over 97% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days. Call Jeff Glover today at 855-JEFF-SELLS. Whether your home is in Plymouth, Birmingham, Brighton, Shelby Township, or Ann Arbor, Jeff will get it sold. Call Jeff at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. With Realtor Jeff Glover, your home is here today and gone tomorrow.
Hurry to Southgate Ford for tremendous savings during their 2013 model year-end sales event. Take advantage of great zero-down sign and drive lease deals. Leave your money in the bank and lease the Ford car truck of your choice. No money down, not even first month's payment, and no security payment required. Now through July 31st, qualified customers can lease a 2013 Ford Fusion SE for only $243 a month or a 2013 Ford Escape for just $216 a month. Both leases are for 24 months months and just tax title plates due at signing. See dealer for details. These models are nicely equipped, not stripped. Choose from hundreds in stock. Southgate Ford never charges the hidden extras like dock fees on new, used, or lease buys, saving their customers hundreds, and you won't waste time with pushy managers. Every day's like an auto show at Southgate Ford. You'll stay cool, dry, and comfortable as you shop their huge 12-vehicle showroom. Southgate Ford can even deliver your new Ford to you. Southgate Ford on 4th Street or online at southgateford.com.
Here's Jill, and she's got a question for DTE Energy.
I want to replace my drafty windows. How can I find a contractor?
I'll let Herman from DTE tackle this one.
DTE can help you. We created our online energy efficiency directory so you can easily find a local contractor to help you with your home efficiency projects.
Oh, good. So what else can I do to save energy and money?
You can hire a contractor to install energy efficient insulation or even a new air conditioner, and the list goes on. The directory also has contractor reviews, and you can even submit your own.
That's helpful. I want to make sure I find the right contractor.
Well, DTE also has advice on what to ask every contractor. We want you to save money on your energy bill, and helping you is one of our specialties.
You know, my specialty is homemade macaroni and cheese. From a box. You guys doing anything for dinner? To find a contractor, head over to dteenergy.com/EED. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Ba, black sheep. Have you any wool? No, sir, no, sir. Some nincompoop with pantyhose pulled over his face stole all my wool sweaters and gaming system. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency recently helped me with renter's insurance. Everything stolen was replaced, and the little boy who lives down the lane was caught trying to sell it online. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
Find out what's happening in the Detroit job market every weekday evening at 426 and 526 on the Detroit Job Market Report, brought to you by the University of Phoenix. And for more about job market conditions, visit letsgettoworkdetroit.com. Letsgettoworkdetroit.com.
It's the only place you can win a dozen Titleist Pro V1 golf balls each week. Just follow me on Twitter at Jeff Lesson. And get up to half off golf at the best courses at LessonOnGolf.com. That's Lesson on Golf, weekend, 7 a.m., 97.1, The Ticket.
The station that puts the all pros on the radio. 97.1.
The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. Till 10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You can always shoot us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. And, of course, join our show here, 248-539-9797. We got some callers.
The best is one of my best buddies, and we're typically like screaming at each other.
Yeah, whatever. We have a good show going on off the air. Eric, you're still on the line. Eric, just to wrap up your call there, you know, you had your problems in the past. You got a rent to own. You're going to be buying this house hopefully in December after your 3 years has elapsed. What we want to do is get your ducks in a row for you and run your credit report. Make sure you get all your paperwork and everything organized, including, did you give a large deposit when you decided to rent with option to buy?
Yeah, not extremely large. I believe it was a month and a half, I want to say, of rent. But which in part of the terms is, you know, that would actually go towards, we get that back towards the house.
Yeah, towards your down payment.
You should have a lot of money because you weren't making a mortgage payment for a while.
The thing is, you know, once the 3 years is up, we will have paid over $60,000 in rent, you know, towards this house. And that was sort of the negotiation was, you know, she was selling the house for $250,000. You know, we got her to agree to take a chance on us, you know, knowing that we were coming out of a short sale, but with this option to buy at $200,000. And at the time, you know, it probably would have appraised for that, but you know, it was right at the beginning of you know, the downturn. You know, we love the house, we love the neighborhood, we love the schools. You know, we want to stay in the home. But, you know, there's obviously some concerns about the appraisal, and, you know, we've already had discussions with her. She's not really willing to come down on that price, namely because she's had to put $23,000 or $24,000 into the house this year
Well, then she
for
can
waterproofing the
lend you the
basement
money.
and some other things.
All right, Alex will check the value.
Eric, she can lend you the money, though.
he'll run the credit. He'll check the value. And he'll tell you which way to go.
Eric, thanks for the call this morning. It's a great question. Actually, it's a popular scenario. There's a lot of families who've had trouble in the past sort of get themselves into a house. Again, Dan, we sort of mentioned
I love
it.
those calls. Oh, yeah, we have so much money. We have done so much down, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but we short sold our last crib. You have so much jack and you're doing so well, yet you walk from your last house.
Dan, there's no doubt that as a seller, it's nice if you're not going to sell it right now and close on the house, and the values might not have been down in when he started this transaction in 2010. But again, having a buyer who potentially is going to own the house one day, they're going to take better care of it. Potentially, they're on the hook. They gave you a deposit up front that you can keep. Maybe some money goes towards the purchase of the home in the future.
Typically, you pay for an option too. The option is a dollar amount that you pay for, and if you exercise it, that amount's applied toward it. And you also, like you said, a lot of times our sellers will increase the amount of the rent, and then that a little small portion goes towards the down payment.
Yeah, you better document that. I'll tell you, we see those files, but give us a call if you're trying to organize something like that. And the key here is to make sure that you keep all your canceled checks, obviously that you have your agreement in writing and that it makes sense, and more importantly, that you document all the funds that you gave towards the purchase of the home. Great stuff. 248-539-9797. Let's try some calls here. I do like Aaron out there on line 4 in Fenton. Hey, good morning, Aaron. You're live on the ticket.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good morning. What's up?
Yes, I just bought a house back in 2010. I got the first-time home buyer's credit. Well, now, me and my wife make more money. We'd like to upgrade. How long do I have to wait?
Was that the $8,000 credit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 3 years.
3 years.
3 years? Okay, so I bought it in April 2010, so April 2013 I will be able to sell it and not have to pay anything back?
Yes, we're past April 2013, so you're good to go.
Oh, yeah, good call. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's why he's sitting there.
Hey, man, it's early, dude. I'm with you.
Hey, good call, Rusty.
I've had 9 cups of coffee. So, Aaron, give me the scoop. So you guys just want to sell your current house and just buy a new one?
Yeah, we want to upgrade, get a bigger house.
Got
a couple kids now.
It's a regular, there's nothing funky about that at all, man. I mean, it's a regular old school mortgage.
What city are you in?
Holly.
Holly. I'm not sure about Holly, but everything else is going great right now. Great time to be a seller.
Good stuff, Aaron.
Yeah,
Great
I
call.
know. We've had houses sit for sale in our neighborhood that have just flown off the market. So
yeah, you shouldn't have a problem selling it.
Yeah, Aaron, what I'll do, man, is I'll call you after the show, run some numbers for you, and get you taken care of.
All right, thank you.
Good deal. Thank you,
All right,
buddy.
again, we talked earlier in the show about how maybe getting that house on the market sooner than later. You get some families to come in, they want to get their kids in the school district. But how about that? Taking advantage of buying at a great time. 2010, we had the buyer's credit. Home values were at all-time lows. Interest rates were trickling down. By the way, rates today are better than they were in 2010. Actually, today the rates are similar to where they were about this time, 2011. Statistically, that's what it shows.
Wait, time out. They weren't this low in 1963. What are you telling me? All right, for sure. I mean,
yeah,
that's
rates were fantastic.
Don't get hung up on rate. I mean, they're in the fours. What's wrong with that?
What a great time to buy. How about this? Now he can turn around and sell that house. He keeps his money that he used and really upgrade for his family. Awesome stuff. All right, acquiring a new construction home. We got Dave on the line from Shelby Township. Good morning, Dave. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, fellas.
What's up, man?
Hey, I got a couple of questions, I guess. Last year, my wife and I had to do a bankruptcy just to kind of get rid of some debt that we had, and a little bit try to get out of the home, out of our old home. The situation that we had when we got married, she actually bought our current. It's a condo, so she is only liable for that. Is what my lawyer told me. The nice thing is now with the income that I make, I can go out and get a home all by myself. Then we can figure out what to do with the condo because I think we're about $100,000 underwater on it right now.
You're going to walk on that one. Let's get that out of the way.
Or short sale, whatever we decide to do. My question is, with that bankruptcy on file, I'm saving a pretty good clip right now trying to save money for a new home. I want to do a new construction.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Of course.
How long do I have to wait to get an FHA, or how long do I have to wait for at least the process?
I mean, it's 2 years outside of a Chapter 7 and 1 year outside of a Chapter 13.
Okay. Is that to the date is when I want to try to start the process if I look at my discharge paperwork?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So that's when I would go to the bank and whoever I would go through and try to start the paperwork process.
You can start the process then, yeah.
2 years after your discharge date, make sure you get all your ducks in a row. And again, if you're already you're not past that 2 years, you're just starting this BK?
I believe my discharge date was last July.
Just credit card debt and
So-
everything? Is that what the bankruptcy was?
It was that and to get out of the other home a little bit
Yeah.
because I had a second mortgage on that. That
Uh-oh.
was just the advice that gave me to try to get out of that one. So
You just turned yourself into, I think, a 3-year wait. If you have a foreclosure,
It's a foreclosure, bro.
Yeah, you have foreclosure. If you walked on this, if you put that second mortgage in your bankruptcy, that's a 3-year wait.
But that was all in my wife's name. That wasn't in my name at all.
Oh, is it in your bankruptcy?
Maybe. That's a good question.
Do you have a short sale and a bankruptcy?
No,
No.
just the bankruptcy.
Just a bankruptcy. You're just
Yeah,
a classy
and like
dude,
I said,
man.
all the mortgage and
You don't like
everything
paying
was
bills,
just in
do
my
you?
wife's name.
Hey,
You don't like paying bills,
He's
do you,
starting
Dave?
all over.
HGlance at lowrateonline.com.
Hey, thanks for the call, Dave. We continue some phone
I
calls
don't
here this
thank you
morning.
for the phone call. You just don't like paying bills, dude. You just want to borrow money, and then if it goes south, just not pay it back. It's outstanding, dude. It's
248.
unbelievable. I can't believe like I called the show. Seriously. That's unbelievable to me.
248-539-9797. As always, we answer your questions on mortgages and real estate. As you can see, we have fun doing this, but more importantly, we're here to educate you a little bit and make your life easier if you're considering purchasing a new house. Hey, how about this, guys? Home improvements continue to pick up in the area as we see a lot of families
I don't
starting
like paying
to take.
bills either.
Just
Sorry,
don't pay
dude.
them.
I don't think Eric's listened to the show before.
I don't think, dude. Trust me. Every time I get those bills, like I'm like, oh my god, another $650. I don't like paying those either,
Well, let 'em
dude.
stack
But guess
up.
what? You pay them, and he's like, oh, well, my lawyer says legally this, legally that. There are a lot of things that are legal that you probably still shouldn't do. You know, there are a lot of things out there that might not be illegal,
And
I'm not.
you would know that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would. There are some things you just shouldn't do. Like society as a whole functions on like people like having like good faith and doing the right thing. Just because it's not technically illegal, go to jail doesn't mean it's not. You're not breaking the law. Just because so if you don't pay your bills. It's not illegal. You're not going to go to jail, but it's still civilly illegal. You still have to pay your bills. If you breach a contract, you still it's still illegal because you're not going to go to prison.
And seeing as how we're a lender and we frown on that, that's you got to.
You know how much that sucks when I get that call when Glance calls me.
Oh, I know.
Hey Nafusi, what's up with your Smith file? This guy hasn't made a payment in 6 months. That's a crappy phone call to get, man. I don't want to take those phone calls.
We've got Mike calling in from Wyandotte, but Mike,
we gotta go to break.
you're going to
Mike,
step
hold
up
on.
against the
I'm going to go
break.
for a walk. I'll be right back.
248-539-9797. We come back. All your calls.
97.1 The Ticket.
Summerfest at Michigan International Speedway. A 200-mile-an-hour experience with great friends. A tribute to the ingenuity of man and machine. A testament to the skill and bravery of your favorite driver. A festival of thrills brought to you by summer and the love of NASCAR. Summerfest at Michigan International Speedway. It's a race. It's a party. It's the experience of a lifetime. Don't miss the Pure Michigan 400 on August 18th. Call 800-354-1010 or visit mispeedway.com.
You know that feeling you get when you put a shirt on and find money in the pocket?
Love that.
Or when you spot loose change straightening the couch cushions?
I know the feeling. I'm like, cha-ching!
Well, you could feel that way every day.
I could.
Sure, if you belong to a credit union.
A credit union?
See, credit unions charge fewer fees. That's money found for your wallet. Why, right here in Michigan, they have over 1,600 surcharge-free ATMs through the Co-op network. That's a lot of places to find money.
Nice.
It is nice when you discover your credit union is like pulling out a pair of jeans from the dryer with money in every pocket.
Love that.
Credit unions also offer better rates than banks. I'm talking over 4% better on average for credit cards and 1% better for auto loans. That's hundreds in savings found.
Wow, that's a big cha-ching.
Sure is. One that members know is even bigger when you do all your banking in one place. The right place. It's time to own your money. Find out how at culinkmichigan.com. That's culinkmichigan.com. Credit unions are federally insured by the NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
There's another long drive deep to left, and it's gone! His third home run of the day! What has gotten into him? He must be inspired by the power of his new Varsity Ford.
Right now at Varsity Ford in Ann Arbor, you can get the powerful 2013 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 for only $225 per month with $1,000 down, and Varsity will match your down payment. Plus, with over 200 certified pre-owned vehicles, it's easy to join the Varsity team. Off I-94 at Jackson Road in Ann Arbor. See the entire selection at varsityford.com.
You're in your car debating a summer road trip, but you'd visit more gas stations than landmarks, and you don't want photos of fuel pumps. First stop, AutoZone. Changing your oil regularly helps you get maximum efficiency and mileage, meaning less time at the pump, and more time looking up Abraham Lincoln's nose.
Right now at AutoZone, for only $21.99, get a 5-quart jug of Castrol conventional motor oil and a Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Just $21.99. Get in the zone. AutoZone. See store for restrictions and details.
Shopping for your next car is easy and fun when you log on to CarMax.com. At CarMax.com, you can choose from thousands of used cars in our nationwide inventory, most of which are available for transfer to a store near you. Fee may apply. You can check out tons of pictures and features, compare prices, and more. The car you'll fall in love with is at CarMax.com right now. Log on today. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Check out the grand opening sale at the new Menards Megastore in Port Huron. Get free autographs from former Michigan State guard Mateen Cleaves, 6 to 8 p.m. Monday. From former Detroit tight end Charlie Sanders, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. And from former Detroit running back Billy Sims, 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday. Don't miss the grand opening sale at the new Menards in Port Huron, off I-6994 to Lapeer Connector.
Save big money at Menards.
Football helmet, shoulder pads, $300. League registration fees, $500. Donation to 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check Fund, $10. Saving a life, priceless. Text SCREAM to 50555 and donate $10 to 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check Program. Your donation will pay for one young person to have a Beaumont cardiac screening to make sure their heart is healthy enough for sports. Text SCREAM to 50555 and help save a life. Charge will appear on your wireless bill or be deducted from your prepaid balance. Charge must be authorized by account holder. Message and data rates apply.
Attention Bright House Networks customers. No more Dexter. No more Ray Donovan. No more Homeland. Every great Showtime series, every hit movie, every big fight on Showtime may soon be gone. Why? Because Showtime may soon be dropped on Bright House Networks. Showtime has never gone dark and is working in good faith so you can continue to get all the channels you want and you paid for. Call 1-866-876-1872 and tell Bright House Networks to keep Showtime. For more information, go to sho.com/Bright Networks.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Gordon Chevrolet. Tigers 2-1 over the Phillies thanks to the pitching of Doug Fisher, who goes to 9-5, allowing 3 hits and an unearned run. Alex Avila drove in a 2-run double in the 5th out. Cole Hamels, Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, and second baseman Omar Infante all out with various injuries. Tigers go tonight with Max Scherzer 14-1. That's at 7:08, the first pitch right here on The Ticket. It will be Raul Valdez, not Cliff Lee, pitching for the Phillies. Lee is out supposedly due to a stiff neck. Cleveland over Texas 11-8 in 11 innings thanks to an ex-Tiger Ryan Rayburn 3-run walk-off home run. Tigers stay 3 runs ahead of them in the division. Yankees GM Brian Cashman says Alex Rodriguez is hurt and he wants his leg examined by an outside doctor. A-Rod says his quadriceps really isn't injured and he's ready to play. Kansas City Chiefs signed number 1 overall pick. That's offensive tackle Eric Fisher from Central Michigan to the tune of 5 years, $22 million. That's the Ticket Update Desk. I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
If you can't say it loud and proud, at least say it loud.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We're taking your calls, 248-539-9797. We're brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We have people in the office all day long to help you. If you're interested, give us a phone call. Again, refinancing, debt consolidation, adding your first and second mortgage together. Many reasons, including your tax bills just came out on July 1st. Be sure to give us a phone call.
When are those tax bills due, Harvey, if they came out on July 1st?
All different cities. Could be September 15th. Check your date on that. September 30th.
I don't pay bills. Please still on that.
The end of August.
Right. The bills come out on July 1st, but they have various due dates, September 14th, 15th, in that range, but they still become a lien on the property effective that invoice date, July 1st.
See a lot of families lately actually calling us up, considering rolling in that summer tax bill along with reducing the term on their loan, maybe even setting up an escrow account moving forward in their lives, and really taking advantage of what still is 40 to 50-year lows in the mortgage interest rate marketplace. We've got some calls to get to. Just throw out a couple quick stats. The sales of existing homes have stumbled a little bit last month. However, up 15.2% compared to June of 2012 last year. Of course, Dan Dominski's here from Skyward Realty. Dan, the lack of inventory out there is holding back some sales in some places. And again, hopefully more and more homes will come out on the marketplace as other families, including Mr. Nafusi, might consider buying another home, maybe selling their home that they started with, their starter home, and maybe moving up into some other properties. Let's continue some calls here. We've got all sorts of good ones to get to. Let me go with Rob out there on a home appraisal question. Good morning, Rob from Davisburg. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Rob, my favorite subject. Here we go.
Say, I got a question. Why don't the appraisal process change for the seller to provide the necessary paperwork and validation of their market price prior to listing.
You can do that.
Seems like it would expedite the entire process.
You can totally do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, listing agents are urged actually to show up and meet the appraiser at the house they're representing with the comparable sales right there and all the data.
We do it all the time. I never used to go to appraisals. Now I go every single time with comps in hand. And, I never understood this. When I first got in this business 15 years ago, why an appraiser has the contract in front of them. Shouldn't they come up with an independent number or the price of what it should be sold for? Why do they have the answer in front of them? And 99 times out of 100, that appraisal number comes exactly what their selling price was.
Yeah, they don't do it on a refinance yet, but on a purchase, they have the document that actually states this is the number they're looking for. That's an interesting. Did you have anything else to add with that, Rob?
Well, the other question about appraisals is how come there's 3 different methods? The insurance companies do it one way, the local municipalities do it another for tax purposes, and then the lenders do it entirely different. Why don't all 3 come together and have the same number?
I'm with you 100%, partner. And then realtors do it a 4th way.
The right way. But the market dictates what the price is. So the sales approach is the best approach when you're looking to buy or sell a house, because the market is dictating what it's sold for. I mean, you don't want to take an insurance approach on it. You want to go and say, hey, listen, what has sold in my neighborhood or neighborhood I'm looking to buy comparable to the house that I'm looking to buy in that area? Why would you want to do it any other way?
Well, because I don't know what condition my neighbor's house is in, and if they short sold it or foreclosed it, or if they didn't upkeep it.
But the appraisal, no, but everybody else has that information because that information is public record. Now, if you do improvements to your house, if you want to build a brand new man cave down there with 15 TVs and you have a great built-in pool and you built this house because of your lifestyle, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's of value in the market to the masses.
Hey,
okay?
Rob.
So, I mean, you got to go on the sales approach. That's absolutely the best approach.
Rob, is there something that happened with you, a situation with you personally that you're kind of leaning on right now?
No, I'm just looking back at the recent recession, and all the values of the homes went far below what you could actually build them for.
Sure.
And it crushed the new home market.
Oh, yeah, it did, 100%, man. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it makes some valid points, and it irks me a little bit when sometimes, it's all based on square footage, yet the 2 other homes down the street have not been remodeled in 40 or 50 years, and then you do have a house that's been remodeled. And, yes, it does cost $10,000 to $20,000 to put a kitchen together and $5,000 to $10,000 on bathrooms and new roofs. Yeah, there. Sometimes this falls into the marketplace.
Yeah, but in general, you're never going to get dollar for dollar back what you put in.
No,
I mean we've known this for years. Even when the market was phenomenal, if somebody wanted to go ahead and max out a living room, well, we all know kitchens and bathrooms get back the most, and it's not dollar for dollar, but it gets back the most in a resale. All right, but I like a big man cave down in my basement with 15 TVs. Maybe I would pay more for that, but somebody in the general public isn't going to do it.
Thanks for the call, Rob.
You take that to an account too. Dollar per square foot's the best way for us to do it, and taking considerations apples to apples, homes with basements, homes with garages, and then you factor in the intangibles, the granite countertops, the tile flooring, and that kind of thing. So you should be able to come with an accurate number. But you tell that to an appraiser, it's like you're speaking Chinese. They don't ever heard of dollar per square foot.
We're going to continue some calls. We got Cindy on the line. And Cindy, good morning. You're welcome to the show here. Go ahead.
Oh, hi. This is Cindy. I have so many questions now just listening to your other callers. We are currently going through our balloon HELOC is going to be mature next year.
Okay.
So I took action and went to the bank to see what our options were. And I'm being led towards doing a remortgaging for 30 years again after 12 years of paying.
Okay.
And what your callers are saying...
why wouldn't you do it for 15 years?
Well, no, I tried the 20. I wanted to go down to a 20, but it's the same interest rate for 20 or 30.
Okay.
So I may as well roll it in and do the same because my payment will go down lower, and then I have the... It is very confusing to me, but I guess my ultimate question is, I'm facing one of the walkthroughs and that I have to pay for regardless whether it appraises or not. And
what's
I do have a lot of updates.
What's a
after living there for 12 years, so it doesn't matter. Does
Okay,
it
hold on,
matter
Cindy, hold on a
that,
second.
that we've done
Cindy, time out 1 second.
extensive updates to the?
Hold on,
I mean,
time out.
really,
Cindy.
it was.
Cindy, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Stop
when we bought
talking.
it.
Stop talking.
Listen for 1 second, partner. You know I love you already. What's a walkthrough? Is it you mean an appraisal? Are you listening?
I don't know.
I don't think she's here. That's probably.
It's amazing that she's confused.
That's
So you stop
okay.
talking and listen. When you ask
will
questions, you call, you talk
I
for 20
think she had
minutes.
her radio on. Cindy, we will call you off.
Unbelievable.
We will call you
can
off
call
this
her up.
shit. That's okay.
It's
I'll-
amazing she's confused and can't figure out a mortgage.
Well, I'll tell you, things have changed quite a bit lately.
HGlans@LureItOnline.com.
248-539-9797. We'll continue some calls here this morning. Yes, let's wrap that up.
Her question is, she's on a. If she would stop talking for 2 seconds, she's on a HELOC. It's an adjustable rate mortgage. It's a balloon. It's coming due. She's 12 years into it. Her question, I don't know what her question was, but like Harry was saying, redo it on a 20-year fixed product. She's already been paying for 12 years. Refinance it so you don't have to write a check for the entire balloon coming due and do it on a 20-year fixed product. She said the rate's the same on a 20-year and a 30-year.
Okay.
A 20-year should be maybe an 1/8 to a quarter less than a 30-year, but the payment overall should stay the same. We're going to keep her on the same track. She's going to pay the loan off.
And she should do it sooner rather than later, and
Absolutely.
don't let the balloon come due. Just do it now and get it over
See how
with.
nice
Make
that
the
was?
decision, commit, and do it now.
And regarding the appraisal, obviously, yes, they do have to come into your home
course
and
they
do an appraisal and see what
Do a
goes on from
walkthrough.
there. Sometimes your house might not appraise out for the number you need, but again, there's some things you could do in advance. You can call up a local realtor like Dan Dubinsky sitting on the other side over here. Dan, there's still plenty of people that can call you, pull comparable sales in the areas that you're expert in. I know Ferndale, Royal Oak, I mean, your whole little area over there.
That's where you start, as far as I'm concerned. You think about selling, the first thing you call is a good realtor in your area.
You pull up the comps on again. One day, and I always say this to people, look, one day the real estate agent in your community is going to want to list your house. Here's their opportunity. If this sounds nuts to you, you tell me. Here's their opportunity to get to know you. For what takes them 5 or 10 minutes in front of the computer to pull out the comps will definitely be valuable information. And if they do a nice job for you, this is definitely an agent that you'd want to call back in the future. Or again, if your friends or family need a professional realtor in the area, this is why that person's willing to do this favor for you. It's called a market analysis, Dan. It doesn't take you that long, right?
And, and get a referral. If you don't have a good referral, get 3 people to. You're not going to go buy the car you're the first place you go see, right? You're going to look at three different options. That's what I suggest.
Take a look at all the comparable sales in your neighborhood. Give yourself a good barometer of what's going on, and then, of course, then invite the appraiser to come to your house and take a look. 248-539-9797. Boy, we got tons, and the clock could just keep flying here this morning. Up against another break. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
97.1 The Ticket.
At Earhart BMW, get the new BMW 328 xDrive for only $369 a month. Drive the ultimate driving machine for only $369 a month with $3,500 down for 36 months through BMW Financial. Visit Earhart BMW, Bloomfield Hills, Farmington Hills, EarhartBMW.com.
Meet Rachel, mother of 3.
Working mother of 3.
Like all moms, protecting her family is what matters most. So she signed up for Xfinity Home to get total home security and home control.
It's a huge relief to know that my home and family are always safe.
Xfinity Home provides 24/7 professional monitoring from a highly trained staff, plus remote video monitoring. So Rachel's home and family are always just a tap away.
I love that I can use my phone to see what the kids are up to from anywhere.
And it's more than just security. Rachel can now save money on her energy bill with remote light and thermostat controls.
And saving money is always a good thing.
This is home security reimagined. This is Xfinity Home. Xfinity Triple Play subscribers. Now you can add Xfinity Home for only $29.95 a month. Plus, you can lock in your rate for 2 years and save over $200. Call 1-800-XFINITY now. Offer ends 8/31/13. Restrictions apply. Limited to Secure 300 service for new residential customers. 3-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Installation taxes, video and automation equipment, and fees extra. Requires compatible high-speed internet.
I'm a teenage girl. I'm your hot water heater. I'm your GPS. I'm a bank of fog that just rolled in off the bay. And I love surprises.
He's one of the most recognizable brand characters in advertising history.
I wasn't just talking to the camera and selling toothpaste or beer. I mean, there was a real character there. And I knew that I could have a lot of fun with it.
Mayhem hits the CBS studios on the new edition of CBS Marketing Masters as we sit down with 2 key players behind Allstate's iconic Mayhem campaign. Lisa Cochran, Senior Vice President of Marketing at Allstate, and actor Dean Winters, the man behind the Mayhem.
The best stories are those that are a little provocative.
When you're getting a little uncomfortable is probably when you're in your best place.
Hey, Lisa, were you nervous in the early going?
Yeah, she was terrified.
To see the whole remarkable story of how Allstate changed advertising forever, go to cbsmarketingmasters.com. That's cbsmarketingmasters.com.
Dean is the perfect blend of mischief and charm.
Family Guy is off the hook.
Griffin residence. Mr. Griffin. Who is this? How do you know my name? Give me back my son!
Filled with hang-ups.
Hey, guys. Is everyone on the phone? I gotta go. Something's in the oven.
I lost a shoe. Hello, don't leave me on the phone with her.
Stewie?
Hey. And crank calls.
May I speak to the man of the house?
This is the woman of the house, and there is no man living here.
How you paying for this phone?
Family Guy. Phoning in the funny. Don't miss Family Guy. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11 on CW50.
Tuesday, 97.1 The Ticket's bringing the Ticket Chicks and the Street Team out to Detroit Lions training camp in Allen Park. And you're invited to watch the Lions gear up for the 2013 season. Gates go up at 8:45. Practice starts at 9:15. More at 971theticket.com.
Register now for the 97.1 The Ticket Family Roundup to Cedar Point in an RV from General RV. Log on to 971theticket.com for your chance to win a camping weekend trip to Cedar Point for you and your family. Plus, we'll hook you up with a motorhome for your trip from General RV.
We don't back down because you don't back down.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. Till 10 o'clock, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. And want to thank a couple of the people at the office who's there. Actually, Ron Jacobs actually printed me a couple. Ronnie's there in the office. If you've never done business with Ron, give him a call. Give him a try. 1-800-LOW-RATE. He'll definitely hold your hand all the way through the process.
Well, you know, Harvey,
and he hip-checked me into the wall yesterday after he gave me this article.
Oh, boy. You know, when we started this show about 13 years ago, we named it the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show because we have, you know, hardcore answers for hardcore questions. And it goes something like this. If you call here, expect to get an answer. Expect to get the real answer, the hardcore answer. And, you know, you bring in some questions that demand hardcore answers, you're going to get the hardcore answer. Just the way we operate.
Straight to the point again, and as bond investors seem to have grown accustomed to what's going out there, and the reality is that the Fed will eventually stop buying all these mortgage-backed securities. When? We don't know when. So again, we've urged you, and again, our ads say that. What are you waiting for? Make sure you give us a phone call. If you haven't refinanced your FHA mortgage, you might be able to do an FHA streamline, or now you might be able to move it into a conventional mortgage. More and more families in Southeast Michigan do have equity in their home now, equity that we didn't have over the last 3 or 4 years. Is starting to trickle back in again. Just because your neighbor sold yesterday for $40,000 more than what your house appraised for doesn't mean right now, but maybe, just maybe, there's enough comparable sales to increase the value of your property. Let's try some of these phone calls. We've got some good ones. First, I'll go with Mike in Armada. Good morning, Mike. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead, sir. Oh, I got Mike in Wyandotte. You're on the line. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. What's up, man?
Hey, okay, so I had a question. About 5 years ago, my wife and I purchased a house, and we bought it for about $99,000. It's obviously underwater. It was last appraised for $70,000 to $75,000. Now, some things have changed. Her and I have a baby girl now. Both her and I have better-paying jobs. My wife's credit is outstanding. The mortgage is in her name. My credit's not so good because I haven't been that good making payments. It's never been a money issue. It's been a responsibility issue. But we don't want this house anymore. We're going to take a hit, and we know it. But, you know, we want to act now because, you know, the houses that we do want something bigger and something nicer, those are rising in prices. So while maybe our house might rise in appraisal value or sale value, so will those other houses we want. Right. We were told by our mortgage person that that basically we would have to sell our house first before we could get another mortgage because I'm basically dragging her down. And I'm just wondering what options we have because we don't really have a way to sell the house, then find somewhere to live, and then buy another house. You know, I mean, I guess we could do that, but that would be highly, highly inconvenient for us. What are our options?
I mean, you're dragging her down because you have bad credit? Is that what your mortgage person said?
Yeah. Basically, we wanted to get a joint mortgage, and they said my credit score was pulling hers down, yet they wouldn't give her a second mortgage in her name.
She doesn't qualify with both payments?
No, she doesn't qualify.
Your income to qualify.
Yeah, I guess maybe she just got a better job not too long ago, so we haven't checked in then. But our combined income's about $140 now.
Okay, and what does she make? How much does she make? Your wife?
She makes $62 now.
I mean, if she just has that one house, the 90,000 on, she could probably qualify for another one.
Probably for about another 90,000,
and then rent your current one. Yeah.
Oh, do you think we should maybe talk to somebody else instead of our current mortgage person?
I would. I mean, I'd like to talk to you, after the show and see what we're looking at. I mean,
that would be really nice because we have income. It's just I feel bad that I'm dragging her down.
That's okay.
If we wanted to get a joint mortgage, but it is what it is. But we've grown out of this house and we're ready to take a hit on it. We understand, but we want something nice. We want our permanent house.
Yeah, let me call after the show and look at her income and see what the whole scoop is. I mean, you might be able to buy another one and then rent your current one, or just sell that one and take a hit on it and just be done with it, man. There sounds like there's definitely some options there.
Okay, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thanks,
Again, there's lots you can do there. Can you qualify for another house if you keep your existing house? You don't have to walk away from it, folks. You can rent that existing house out. Again, let us run the numbers to find out if you qualify for enough to purchase a new house. If not, in his case, let's get his credit fixed up. Let's find out what he can do. And again, if they can use the joint income, they definitely would qualify to step it up.
Absolutely.
248-539-9797. We take all your calls here on the show. Let me try Tony out there. Tony from where, Tony? Wyandotte again. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
I have a home in Wyandotte that we purchased about 7 years ago. We were kind of duped when we bought it, and we need to get out of it. Because basically, everyone told us the home is not going to be livable for the full 30 years of the mortgage. And so we were looking for houses, and we found a house on Groseal, and it's 425,000. It's on the water. It's 5,000 square feet. It's beautiful. Problem is it's not done. The guys that were building the home, when the market crashed or whatever, the company went bankrupt, and the home is sitting there about 90% done. And everyone we've talked to said that we can't get a mortgage on it because there's no certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, you would need a new construction loan to finish that up.
The C of O is not the issue. You can't get a residential mortgage in a house that's not complete.
There are mortgages that would be available. It's going to fall under a new construction loan, and as long as you qualify, you're able to get the money. And I've got some friends that have done this in the past. And then after the project's complete, you're able to come back to us, and we could probably do a little bit better for you on the mortgage. But for now, we'll call you off the air and get you in touch with a couple local institutions that handle this kind of financing.
Okay, that'd
no
be
problem.
great.
And as long as you qualify, I mean, the people we've known in the past, they've stolen these houses. Again, you said 5,000 square feet on the water for $425. How much more do you have to put into it? Maybe another 50 to 100?
From what our construction guy said, if we put 100 in it, that's like top of the line everything. That would be like marble floors, top of the line appliances, everything.
So even if you're at 475, other homes similar to this are selling for a lot more. I'm imagining, right?
Yeah, even after before the whole market thing, the homes in the area similar to it on Groseal are going. We're going for about $1 million. Okay. Now they've gone down, obviously. But
we have some concerns, obviously, because the house has been sitting, and anytime a project's been sitting, there's some damage that could accrue. So we got to be careful there. But other than that, and home inspections and things of that nature, you definitely can pull this off. So it's a great call, and congratulations. Don't make the mistake you made before. What did he say? And I'll let you go on this, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
But you're going to need some more professionals. He bought a house that it's not going to even last for 30 years. I'm not sure what that means. Did he buy a house that was, in really, really poor shape? Don't do that. Get professional advice. And again, folks, that's what the key really here is, Dan. So many times we refer families over to you. It's really just to sit down and say, look, let's figure out what your needs are. Let's go look at some great homes. And that conversation never comes up that this house isn't going to last for very long.
Doesn't sound like an inspector was involved at all. And there's no way you don't have an inspection on a property.
All right. Yeah, just to throw that out there again, 248-539-9797. And we're going to continue the calls here. Let's try Clint out there in Redford. Good morning, Clint. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Morning, Clint.
Thanks for taking my call. Listen, I got a house in Redford. I've owned it for about 10 years, bought it at the height of the market. Obviously, we're at the lower end of the market. Looking to move my family elsewhere, different city. What's my best options? If I wait 6 to 10 months to get the $10,000 that I think I need to put down on a loan, is the market going to start coming back up? Should I act now? What do I do with my existing house? Do we rent it?
It's Clint, it's one of those questions I'd like to sit down with you and look at the whole picture.
Okay.
See where you're at income-wise, see where you're at on the value of the current house, versus the mortgage balance, and
right.
kind of put together a whole portfolio for you. I don't think you're needing $10,000 to put down on the new house. What's the purchase price you're looking at for the new one?
Well, anywhere from if it's a fixer-upper, $9,700, and then if it's not, we can move in right away and whatnot. $150 to $175 would probably be the max.
Yeah, I mean, on $150,000, I mean, we could do it with 3.5% down. I mean,
right.
I don't think you need $10,000.
Which is what? Do the math real quick. Is that $8,000, $7,000, $10,000? What?
What is that?
On a 150, is that $7,250? I can't do it real quick.
I don't know, somewhere around between $5,000 to $7,000.
$7,000-8,000. Yeah,
it's still early.
Right, $7,000 or $8,000. Yeah. So I was ballpark $10,000. So we need some money down.
That, by the way.
Bottom line, right?
Well, Clint, again, you still there's three components to home ownership. You got your closing cost, your down payment. Unless you're a veteran, then you can avoid the down payment. But yeah, if you're working with $10,000, you're going to be able to acquire a house, probably on an FHA loan, even 5% down, conventional for that matter. So. Alex will follow up with you right after the show, and let's see where you're at there. And again, I think the most
one more quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I rent my house, do I have to claim that as income?
You don't
the money that I get each month.
You don't have to do anything.
Only if you're making income on it. Is that
so
sarcastic? The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That is income.
If you're making a positive spread, you have to claim it.
Right. Now, again, you could depreciate the property. Well, these are questions for your CPA. Again, you can depreciate the property. There might be work that you need to do to the house that you can write off. There's lots of things you can do. We have to find out if you rent it out, do you qualify with the new existing payment? That's the key there, is finding out if you can move forward and purchase a new one and keep your existing one as a rental. It's been great and very lucrative for many families. Rents across Southeast Michigan have gone up probably 25 to 35% even in the last 12 months.
People have to remember, too, though, you lose your homestead exemption.
Thanks,
Which means your taxes are going to go up about 30% on that property.
Oh, great other point.
Sure.
Gentlemen, is that it?
That's it, man.
Good real estate show. Good real estate show.
That is the fastest 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Show we've ever had. Again, we want to thank all the callers for calling in. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Send us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. We've got Pat Caputo with sports coming up. Keep it here all day long. Tiger Baseball at 7:08 later today. We'll see you next Saturday.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
5 years ago, we had over 100,000 homes for sale here in Southeast Michigan. Today, we have less than 30,000 homes for sale. We're at the lowest point of inventory since 2002. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. What this means to you is there has never been a better time to take advantage of today's market. And don't wait, because interest rates are already on the increase. But don't just take it from me.
I'm Chuck Howard, and my wife and I worked with Jeff to sell a home in Royal Oak and buy one in Rochester Hills. Jeff got our home sold in 2 weeks. He had it priced right. He marketed the home aggressively to make sure it was seen. Jeff is very professional and real easy to work with. He and his whole team are exceptional.
Jeff Glover has sold more homes than anyone else this year in Southeast Michigan. Homeowners who sell their homes with Jeff get over 97% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days. Call Jeff Glover today at 855-JEFF-SELLS. Whether your home is in Plymouth, Birmingham, Brighton, Shelby Township, or Ann Arbor, Jeff will get it sold. Call Jeff at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. With Realtor Jeff Glover, your home is here today and gone tomorrow.
Announcing the grand opening of the area's newest Kia dealership, Suburban Kia, on Maple Lawn Drive in Troy. With over 200 new Kias in stock and on sale, Suburban Kia has the new Kia you're looking for at the price you're looking for. And right now, during Suburban Kia's grand opening sale, you can get top dollar for your old car and get into a brand new Kia with a real zero down. 2013 Kia Souls, $219 a month, a real zero down. 2013 Kia Optimas, $249 a month, a real zero down. Souls, $219 a month. Optimas, $249 a month. Just sign and drive with a real zero down. And our goal is 100% credit approval. Plus, every new Suburban Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So get out of your old car and into a new Kia with a real zero down during Suburban Kia's huge grand opening sale. Suburban Kia on Maple Lawn Drive in Troy. Visit suburbankia.com.
36-month lease, 12,000 miles per year. Zero down signing plus tax, tag, and total with approved credit.
I love weekends because I get to spend quality time with my kids, driving them around, which I love. Hockey games at 4:30 a.m.
Love it. Life is a long drive. Make sure your car's along for the ride. Mobile Super Motor Oil is formulated to help prevent sludge and protect against wear. Mobile Super for long engine life. Right now, you can get Mobile Super for a new low price at Walmart. 5-quart jugs are on rollback for $12.97 at your Detroit area Walmart.
Mark your calendar for Kohl's Great Big Weekend Sale, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Start the weekend saving with young men's Levi's 514 jeans for just $39.99. Get 45 to 55% on great juniors brands, 50% off all Carter's and Oshkosh B'gosh playwear, and 20 to 50% off athletic shoes. Plus, everyone gets $10 Kohl's cash for every $50 spent. Save Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Kohl's Great Big Weekend Sale. Kohl's, expects great things.
24 Seconds Bar and Grill in Berkeley's the place to be for everything sports. Catch the UFC fight Johnson versus Maranga on Fox Saturday night. Hop on the 24 Seconds shuttle to the ballpark this weekend. 24 Seconds in Berkeley, 24seconds.net.
Hurry into Golfsmith's tent sale at the Novi location this weekend only. Save up to